All right. Hi, everybody. How we doing? Let's see. We got ViatoTube already being a problem because I'm using chat. So let's see if my buttons still work. They're not gonna, are they? Oh, cool. So we don't have expressions. Let me restart my PNG tuber. Great start. How's everybody feeling? We've got some cool new work this week. Something that I whipped up during the week. I do have a lot more work to do on that puppet, and you are probably going to see it, but I wanted to give myself a chance to do something in my wheelhouse, just a straight picture with a background, and I am excited about it. Don't worry, Outlaw Mix is coming. The only thing is, right now, you wouldn't want it right now. Right now, it is a very weird mixture, like the weirdest. You thought previous heist mixes were weird. This one's going weird places because we've got alternative rock, we've got K-pop, we've got actual country music, we've got country music through the lens of K-pop. It's a very weird mix, and it's extremely eclectic right now in a way that I think only I would appreciate. So I will spare you guys because honestly, and no, I'm not holding up the performance of the second heist mix as anything to worry about because I think I'm just in a quiet period right now. I'm not worried about views, but I kind of really liked number 2, and I was a little sad that it didn't pop off as much as I wanted. But that's why I'm holding my breath, because 3 is going to be, the Outlaw mix for number 3 is going to be weird. So hold on, I will post it soon. I'm just going to post it regardless. It doesn't matter to me if it's a little bit weird, but people are probably going to hate it. So I might actually just do 2 sides on that one, since I haven't done that since I started. But for now, we are going to get started on some artwork. So you guys are going to realize this is why I use open canvas. While I'm streaming this, I'm going to be scooting all over the picture, you know, to zoom in and, you know, get into nooks and crannies and get up close. And not only does that really make you nauseous when to keep the image in one step that I make, so it allows me to just play it back, and allowing me to play it back is what allows me to record it. That's why it looks a little bit grainy sometimes. I think I can solve that problem by recording the final video on a higher resolution, which is what I'm gonna try for this one. This art is probably going to go with some kind of club music again. Might be the K-pop future house mix, might be a different house mix, but I'm feeling another club mix because people are still really responding well to the one from February, the V-Day mix. So, but anyway, for right now, let's get started on flatting. Flatting is something that a lot of artists either choose to do or not do. There was a time when I didn't do it. The difference is, so flatting would be if I took my, you know, my flesh color and was like, okay, ooh, hold on, I'm not getting anything. What's going on here? I messed up my brush somehow. I don't know how. Give me a second. That's very strange. Did I select something? I messed up my brush. All right, whatever. So flatting would be if I were to say, all right, all of the skin is on this level and I've cleared it, you know, just for this part of the skin, and you go in and you like make it really, really clean. Not that I'm doing a great job of it, but imagine that this was like super clean and it was only on just the skin part. And then that means that whenever it's time for you to come in and like clean up the colors, you've already got your borders delineated. I did find that that method didn't allow for me to um, have as much of a clean expression around, the features as if I just did it like this and then erased after the fact. Um, I go back and forth. It really depends on how I'm feeling. But I think today, just because I like to have a better, cleaner speed paint, we're going to go ahead and flat things. So no more art lesson. I'm just going to go for it. I hope everybody had a good week. The weather was actually unusually good here. And of course, I didn't enjoy it at all. You guys know me. Outside? What's that? But I am almost completely over being sick. Almost. I feel like I'm getting sick more often, and it could be because I'm becoming ancient. That's just gonna happen. But one of my friends just contacted me again after a long time. She had moved out of town. I moved here like over a decade ago, and we were roommates. Oh my God, they were roommates. She told me that as soon as they moved out of the city, they had a persistent cough. And she said that as soon as they moved out of the city, the cough went away. And I was like, oh, good. Good. Something for me to worry about now. But I am better. And it wasn't too hard to work even when I was sick, but I don't know why I'm being precious about these borders when I obviously have to have the hair on top, because otherwise I'd have to cut this really cleanly, and I'm not gonna do that. Oh, this picture, by the way, in case anybody recognizes it, I doubt they will. It was based on, I don't usually use a photo reference, but I had a photo of Nyan from Twice from her solo album, and I will link it from the Ko-Fi page whenever all the art's done so you can see what I was inspired by. It's just a really good photo shoot. As soon as I saw it, I was like, I gotta borrow that. Trying to decide what to do for the colors on this one. Why am I still being so precious about this? See, none of this is gonna, it's all gonna overlap. Just have to make sure that you get all of the skin flatted out. And now, if anybody wonders, there are different ways to do digital art that you can't really do with real, like physical, traditional media. Because with digital art, you can color first, kind of like with watercolor. No, sorry, that's not the way watercolor. Is it pastels? Prismacolors. Prismacolors, pencils, wax-based pencils, stuff like that. You put your darkest color down first, like this, and then you bring in your lighter color, and you build up. And that is also a really beautiful way to do things. But I'm also not super great at it. So you'll see me kind of go back and forth. And then there's crazy people who go from lightest to darkest, which is sort of close to what I do. It's not crazy people, but anime style does do that a lot. And yeah, the hair and pose are very K-poppy. Or J-poppy, yeah. It's funny, I keep talking about all these Japanese K-pop groups that are coming out, and I've talked to people in real life who are like, wait, explain, because they don't understand why it's not just J-pop if they're a Japanese group and they're doing pop music. And then I show them a picture of like what a current J-pop girl group looks like, and it's night and day as far as like what their faces look like. Japan, they're still way into the like super thin lips and the gigantic eyes and the very separated eyelashes. It's very doll-like. On the one hand, I really appreciate their commitment to the bit. On the other, it's like 20 years dated at this point, and I think a lot of younger artists are feeling that, and so they come over to the Korean space because it's more Western and more, I don't know, it's just the aesthetic's a little bit different, and they can be a little wilder, and not everybody wants to look like Annabelle, the creepy doll. Can I draw a little guy? Okay, let me see if am I good at, can I do a whimsical little guy? Have I drawn a whimsical little guy before? Let's see. I have to change my color, hold on. Where's my, I hate this program sometimes. Color. There we go. I probably don't have a good brush set up, but I don't have anything good set up. Where's my pencil that works? Where's a good pencil? Here we go. There we go. Kodama would be like real creepy. He's like, can I just have like a crumb of like peace and quiet? There you go. Nice to see you. Hi. Freaky outie. That is very appropriate for what we were doing, drawing a cute little guy. There you go. I hope you're satisfied with that. That's going to be in the speed paint now. So, yeah. I'm going to have to explain that. Hi, William. Hi. Be safe on the train. I'm so jelly. I wish we had trains. It's not fair. I mean, we technically have them, but they're apparently only for commies, so it's really hard to get to. All right, let's do the hair. Skin. And this was this weird little guy. And this is the line. See, I even gave him his own name. Hey, Disco Option. Good to see you. Glad you're back. Let's go ahead and see if yeah, okay. Blocking in the majority of the pink here. You know I'm not going to use that fill bucket. Fill bucket. Honestly, like I said last stream, there's some circumstances, like if you use really sketchy line work like me, which I'm never changing, I love it. You can't just use the fill bucket willy-nilly. Things are not that clean. But it does pay off because it's a lot more interesting to watch the speed paint. He is a little bit in despair, but yeah, I'm an artist. Whatever I'm drawing is probably just coming out of my soul pretty much directly. I do need to work on my silly little guys, though. That's actually a really good point. I haven't doodled in a minute, you know, like margin, full-on margin, stuck in one place, got nothing else to do doodle. And I think that my life would probably be improved. I saw that there's a Steam game for doing medieval illuminated illustrations, like designing them with little stampy things. I didn't look into it too much, but I was like, that's very cute and educational, and would also remind me that just drawing silly little guys is actually pretty cathartic as far as I am told. But you see how, like, since I have to zoom in order to do all of this, if I just tried to film, record a video, not only do I tend to completely forget to hit play or hit record on the video when it's time to record it, often resulting in huge chunks of the process just not being recorded at all, but it scoots around the whole time, and whenever that speeds up, it's gonna give you seasickness. So I use this old program. which you can go on archive.org right now and get, by the way, for free. It's called Open Canvas, Open Canvas 5. Literally what I'm using. You can go grab it. And anything that you draw in this when you're using the default format automatically gets recorded for you, and you don't have to worry about remembering to hit any buttons. And then when you're ready, you just play it while recording, and it saves everything, which is really nice. Hi, Rivaldo. How is Supergirl? Are you talking about the new movie out, or are you talking about the old show? It's been a minute. I gotta catch up on my CW DC shows. They're pretty cool and retro now, I guess. I always heard such good things about Arrow. Never been a big DC girly overall, but I was an X-Men girl growing up. I'm a pretty big comic fan too, if I'm being honest. There was a very cute boy named Alex at my school who gave me my very first X-Men comic, and I carried it around until the cover fell off. Hello, Dylan. Hello, Typical Smile. Good to see you guys. Yeah, I'm just, you can see the piece that we're working on. It's a Lily piece for the next mix. I don't really know specifically which one yet. Something. Oop. Okay. No, that's fine. So, let's see. Is there anything interesting happening that I need to talk about? I guess not. It's been a pretty quiet week. Just trying to get over being somewhat ill. It's always that sinus stuff that gets me. I don't know why, but kind of like how the meme of dudes getting a summer cold, like they just die for a few days. Anytime I have head congestion, I just can't think straight. I hate it so much. And I don't take medicine to like improve my symptoms because somehow it just makes me feel so much worse. I think cotton-headed medicine face feeling is just about the worst feeling for me because I'm sensitive to it. I already forgot what it was that I was talking about to answer how it turned out, but it's because I'm entranced by the thicker outlines on this hair. I was really proud of that. Been doing that a lot lately. It doesn't always work out, but when it does. Also, I am deeply considering a very crazy Lisa Frank style paint job on this, but not sure yet. Usually it just depends on how I'm feeling right when we get to the point of doing the damn thing. I need new mix suggestions, by the way. I obviously have a lot of ground to cover in the... You guys remember the Fishnet and Vinyl mixtape? I've got a lot of ground to cover there. People have been talking a lot about... I've been trying to put a name to this genre for almost a year now, and now the younger generation is calling it 2000s older brother core. And while that's so funny to me because everybody I know that listened to this music was the younger brother or a me who's like not a brother at all, but it fits. It fits pretty well. So I might do something like that. I don't know. Just there's a lot of cool like Y2K stuff that's flying under the radar still. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm not sick still. I just like I said, I've been getting mildly sick way too many times per year. Not anything that would ever require you to go to the doctor, but just the kind of sickness where twice a day you have to take a 3-hour nap because suddenly all your energy just goes out the window and you have to sleep to fight it off. They used to call it a 24-hour bug when I was growing up, or 48-hour bug. Now 48-hour bug in the world of productivity is just code word for you didn't want to come to work, so you lied, even though that's really anti-worker. I'm not going to get on a soapbox. Sorry, I know the flatting process is incredibly boring. It's more fun on the speed paint. It is actually pretty soothing, though. I have thought about posting some, like, coloring book stuff with my lines, but I don't know how many people would even be interested in that. I've never really had anybody ask. I just know that when I was still learning, anytime an artist that I liked would drop lines to color, I was like over the moon because I hated my own line art. But having a chance to color somebody else's was like, oh good, I don't have to stress fixing all the mistakes. Because you can't you can't do a great job coloring if your skeleton isn't if it's too flawed. And I had a bad tendency to skip right to the coloring phase without fixing the issues, and then I would wonder why it was such a difficulty to color it. Well, if you try to make a paper mache dog and the skeleton it's built on looks like a freaking rhino, you're gonna have a hard time making it look like a dog when it's time to actually, put the finishing touches on. You have to have good bones. Bye, Rivaldo. Sorry, it was good to see you. So like I was saying, I have an open ear for new mixes. I would really be open to hearing suggestions beyond the obvious ones that we are clearly waiting on that are in the works. But any like new ideas? I feel like people are okay with some EDM here and there. I just don't want to overrepresent it because I don't listen to it a lot. I guess I listen to it more than some other stuff, so it would be silly to say that to act like I don't. There we go, fixing my brush. I haven't done a lot of other Lily artwork lately, which is why the last time was the St. Patrick's Day picture last month. And that's mainly because got commissions and the webcomic really needs to be updated. And if I'm going to update the webcomic, I have to write the next page of the webcomic. I think I'm going to do that like tomorrow. I'm just going to sorry, I keep saying I'm going to go find a place to sit and really force myself for like an hour to think about where it needs to go, because I have a huge, pretty good assessment of where it's supposed to go in the future, but the direct next pages are pretty much in the air and could go so many different places that I'm kind of stuck. But I'm not stuck, so just hold on. Obviously, any suggestions for the webcomic are also really valuable because I don't want to give too much away, but I'm essentially just making it up as I go along, and the sky's the limit. The point of that is for it to be fun. So you're going to see some interesting characters. There's going to be a lot of characters. I don't think Lily's really going to be the main character per se. It's more like a Doctor Who situation where she's going to be in the middle of it, getting in the middle of it. But it's not really her story as much as her being in the middle of other stuff that's going on. But we will see. The hardest part about getting all amped up with an idea and starting a webcomic is that you pretty much have to bake in your art style right out of the gate. And I don't know if you guys have noticed this about me, but I am constantly deciding that I want to do something different. I don't think I'm going to change the art style on the comic anytime soon, but I'd be lying if I said that a couple of months going by didn't completely change how I wanted to approach a couple of things. The one thing I learned a long time ago is that if you let perfect be the enemy of good, you will never get anything done, and life is way too short for that. So the number one motto I live by, at least on this channel, is, done is better than perfect. And I've heard people say, like, well, that doesn't make any sense. And I'm like, what do you mean it doesn't make sense? If you never, I was talking about this last week. If you only show up when things are perfect, you're not showing up at all. Unless you're one of those type A people who is perfect, in which case, what's that like? But I think one of the reasons why I started a channel in the first place is just to be able to share that stuff after learning it. You gotta be able to make up for mistakes by stopping at least one person from making the mistake that you did. I think that's how it works. Oop. Zoom, extreme zoom. I don't know why coloring is soothing. I've never really studied it before. Anybody got the math on that? Yeah, you're absolutely right. Almost done with the hair. I'm excited about the color variation in this picture, and that's why I said I'm tempted to do a really crazy Y2K rainbowy color treatment. I think in the end it's just going to be bright though. Sorry. Also, normally I would try and do the background first, but I'm not feeling it right this moment. And you will hear me say many, many times on this channel, when it comes to art, when it comes to delicate, creative work, if you are not 100% feeling it, no, you don't want to wait for everything to be perfect all the time. But when it comes to getting down and applying the fine strokes, it's okay to mess around a little bit, go other places. I used to do color theory practice to warm up. I mean, warm-up exercises are pretty common. Problem is, I'm just so impatient. But the funny part is, half the time, if I would just take 10 minutes to warm up, I wouldn't have spent the hour drawing and redrawing and redrawing and redrawing, because I would have already gotten it out of my system. Gotten the crappy out of my system. Yeah. Oh, Spider-Verse is a really good example of different styles. And I think probably a lot of young artists saw it as a great opportunity to explore different styles and appreciate different styles. I have so many different comic book artists that I'm obsessed with, and they're all so wildly different. Let me flip this. Sometimes I'll flip the picture just so I have an easier time with my right hand, because I'm right hand dominant, and if you're blocking the picture with your hand for a lot of the time, it can be really frustrating. And yes, I could absolutely use the fill bucket, but like I said, it would require me to turn off the anti-aliasing, change the size, go find the tool, select it, click in the right spot, highlight everything, go find the erase button, and then clean it up. It's honestly easier for me to just eyeball it. It is a little extra work for the hand, but extra work for the hand is extra practice for the hand, right? And you can be a little bit messy when the colors are so similar. The background is going to be this sort of lavendery color. Lavendery color? You guys know what I mean. I hope that the mic has been fine this time. It feels like it has, or else people would have probably hollered at me by now. And look at that, we're done with the hair. Oh, not completely done. Hold on. Got eyebrows. These eyebrows are a little bit different for me. We're gonna see if this works. I don't usually draw them this way. But since we're using a human reference, I thought I'd be a little bolder. Thank you. All right. The eyes are going to be super fun to paint. Background too, honestly. There we go. Let's get this phone colored. It's going to be this bright yellow color. It's going to really pop. Now we can use the fill bucket. Or we can attempt to anyway. See? And then you just have to get behind the lines. It's a little dirty, but that's okay. I didn't like using the fill bucket after all. I want to go ahead and do it by hand. It's not as satisfying. I don't know what it is. Ooh, I didn't fix that little line going through her fingernail. I gotta fix that real quick. By the way, I don't know if I think 1, 2, 3. What day is Wednesday? Let me check the calendar real fast. Wednesday the 29th. I think we're gonna start movie night or movie day in the Discord next Wednesday because I wanted to wait until Sleepy Co was back from her vacation, but I think it's time to start watching some movies, so I will make notices about that ASAP. Whoop! Why are you being problematic? There we go. Whoop. Eh? Being problematic. Back up. I screwed it up. One more time. There we go. Riveting. Okay. Type in phone. Ooh, I see the problems. I see all kinds of problems. Okay. I can't be a perfectionist. It's just so hard not to. Phone cable. If I hadn't bought a dumb phone, I would have actually bought a USB phone cable for my iPhone. Like one of these. I'm dead ass. I almost did it. I had one on my wish list for the longest time. Because my mom likes to call me and she talks a lot, and being able to twist my finger around the cord like we used to when we were kids would really help get through the yapping. All this time we thought it was this annoying thing tethering us to the wall, and it turned out to be why we were able to listen to Aunt Gladys go on and on for 45 minutes about her bum hip. All along, fidgets were so good for you. That brings me to a memory. I used to draw a lot when I was in class in elementary and middle school, obviously. And I got a hard time from a lot of teachers. But I had a couple of teachers who were like really sympathetic and aware of what it meant to be, someone who doodles in class and someone who's, clearly capable of passing without being eyes up, heads up, seven up the entire class. I had a teacher tell me after class one time, she was a substitute. She told me, like, I understand why you draw in class, and I just want you to know that I think it's great and you should just keep doing it. Don't let anybody tell you you shouldn't. And it really meant a lot to me. It just made me feel seen. I think she probably understood what it was like to be like that and to need to do it in order to focus. I had a hard time being understood in school, so whenever I had a teacher that really got me, it went a long way. The only funny thing about my formal education is that I was in an English class for, I guess, gifted kids. Not the same thing as AP English, which I also took, which is just college level English for high school. But the English class I was in was more for like creatives. And so we read a lot of literature, like banned books, and a lot of cool stuff like that. But I didn't end up learning just the actual basic rules of English. So I didn't know what a preposition was until college. But I've read The Chocolate War and some other really cool banned books, so that's something. Let's get these nails. They're driving me crazy. I'll do this color. This color. I have worn nails this long for the record, and the only big deal is that you can't type in them. And I'm a typer, so that is a deal breaker. Let me hide the hair real quick so I can finish these. I'm gonna do a fancy job on the nails. All right, there we go. Not that far. You see how this would be so nauseating if I just tried to film this and put this as the speed paint? Gotta get in close for these details, and if you can't, it would be pretty messy up close. You never heard of Banned Book Week? You didn't have Banned Book Week at your school? Like, yeah, I don't know why it was considered. They were just saying, like, these are books that people have tried to ban or have banned at separate times. It's challenged books. Books that are considered often challenged. I can't remember any of the other. I mean, I guess, like, it was stuff like, Huck Finn, To Kill a Mockingbird. The stuff where you're like, you banned this just so that you could trick me into wanting to read it, didn't you? But like The Chocolate War was banned because there's one scene where a kid, he's going through puberty. Okay, he does a thing in a bathroom. It's a book about growing up and going to a boarding school, so that's the reason the book was banned. But since it's such a good piece of literature, our teacher was like, you guys are going to read this. So we read it, and a bunch of other books. The funny part is all the normal English classes back then in the late 90s were just obsessed with the Salem witch trials, and that's all we read. We read The Crucible, we read The Scarlet Letter. We read every single piece of fiction that had anything to. If Hawthorne wrote it, we were reading it. And it's not that it was bad, but when it's all you're doing all year long, year after year, like we just had a whole phase where that's all they wanted to talk about. I don't remember which color I want that to be. I guess we'll just do these in black for now. I do have a bit of, let me put this underneath here. Nope, not that. I do have a bit of trivia, and I'm not name dropping because I feel like it would only be name dropping if I could say I got anything out of it. I don't know. I very briefly was talking to an artist online who was pretty well known. He was half of the coloring team for Liquid. They painted for Joe Madera. They did Marvel Ultimates. Like, there was a lot of really cool stuff that they did. And Christian Lickner was one of the artists for Liquid, and he was so patient and willing to talk to me about, you know, improving my work. Just such a cool dude, so patient. And I did not have the skill level to even justify him giving me the time of day, but he taught me that, you know, if you want to improve your skeletal structure, you got to draw some skinny people, and, you know, gave me some references. You know, told me you need to draw the bones underneath the skin, learn where they go. It was all very grueling work, but I remember him telling me one time when I was frustrated, like, do you want to get better, or do you want me to tell you that it's perfect? And he was so nice about it, and I was just like, no, you're right, you're right. But every time I get frustrated with practicing, or I just want to phone it in, I hear him being like, do you want to get better, or do you want me to be nice and tell you that it's perfect? Because at the end of the day, if you do want to get better, you got to hear some stuff you don't want to hear sometimes. I'm the worst about it, believe me. I am the first one to say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it like this, and it's going to be so thorough and perfect, and I'm going to get it all, and then I just let it fall apart because priorities shift. But the good thing about priorities shifting is the more you have to do, the easier it is to give your attention to things that really matter. Oop, skin's not done. Hold on. There we go. I like hand warmers. I like drawing them. I like wearing them. I think I draw them a lot, actually. Oh yeah, Catcher in the Rye is a perfect example. I finally read it and I was like, what's the big freaking deal? Like, it was good, but I feel tricked. 100%. The high school kids, the year before I actually got to go to high school, got to read the freaking Hobbit. Everybody was reading The Hobbit right before I got into high school, and then we started reading all this depressing Salem witch trial stuff. It was so sad. All the cool teachers must have retired. I'm gonna do a border. This is gonna be like fishnet east, like fishnet like fabric, but it won't be see-through because nobody has time for that, especially not moi. So I'm gonna pass. I will have to draw out the whole pattern though. Back when I used Photoshop, I would just cheat with a displacement map, but We don't have Photoshop anymore because Adobe is evil. Right. Let's color in these eyeballs. Do pale white, not pale white. Sclera are weird. The white part of the eye. Do not ever use full-on white for the entire eye unless you're trying to make somebody look actually creepy. I see that problem so much. Like, don't get me wrong. This is pretty bright, but see what I mean? There's the difference. Eyeballs aren't, they got blood vessels and shadows and stuff in them, so they don't tend to actually be white. Yeah, I agree. I mean, unremarkable if you're like me and you're not a big reader. And don't get me wrong, I want to be a big reader. I'm just too self-absorbed sometimes. Also, just have a really bad attention span, but I am working on it. I'm trying to get a library card. Correction, trying to talk myself into going and getting a library card. Okay. Eyes are also sort of a pinky peachy color. Do that. And I have been drawing Human Lily a lot lately, by the way. Which just, it's basically just a self-portrait. Like, no, she doesn't look like me, but it's my vibes. And she doesn't not look like me. But I think because I'm gearing back up to go into the webcomic again. Been drawing Human Lily because I'm about to have to draw horns and wings a lot. Oh, not that dark. Hold on. A little bit of a... There you go. Purple, like a dark purple. Almost done with the boring bits, everybody, I promise. We'll do that same color for the top as well. Yeah, our library apparently has like a library of things as well. I'm curious, like I don't even want to find out what they have. I just want to go and like window shop. Like if they have a vacuum cleaner, I'm gonna be like, oh my god, I want to rent the vacuum cleaner. I don't have one, just for the record. I have hardwood floors, or not hardwood, hard floors. Concrete. There we go. Okay, I got lost. I don't know if that goes in there. I think it does. Whatever. We'll fix it later if it doesn't. Diamonds are going to be fun to color. I haven't done that in a while. Didn't I say last week that I need to practice gems and metals? Messy. Oop. Messy, messy, messy. shiny top. We're gonna have some clouds going on in the background. It looks so crappy right now, but and the boring bits. Where's little fella at? Who's texting me? Nobody's texting me. Little guy needs a hat? Where is little guy? Hold on. Oh, he is on the hair layer. My bad. Give him his own layer. Yeah. Eh? I don't know if he's cold, but he needs a hat with some brim. And I'll give him a mustache to disguise himself in case he's hiding from anybody. There you go. He should be good for the rest of the stream now. Nails and details. Here we go. Here we go. Like a green, sort of. I'm gonna try to color this line. What if it's like, does that help? That's not bad. Oh, there you go. That'll work for now. Yeah, I tried to draw a Kagutaba without looking at references, and it's very screepy. I tried to say scary and creepy at the same time. Cognitaba. Are you gonna educate them as to what we're talking about? Kagutaba. It's from a really, really, really legendary Japanese horror movie that we watch once a year. Scariest kodamas in the game. I keep forgetting how to zoom in on this. Like there we go. It's all in muscle memory. I'm confused. Once again, I'm not getting any color and I don't know why. That's weird. Hold on. What the heck is going on? Did I drag the opacity down? Ah, that's what happened. Oh, I must be accidentally dragging the opacity down whenever I accidentally click those wild random buttons. That explains a lot. These are supposed to be pearls, but I have to clean out these empty spots. Has it only been, it feels like it's way overdue already. I guess we did, I do remember the last scene pretty recently. We've watched it so many times now. I just forget. It's like becoming more of a reliable watch than like Die Hard on Christmas. Alright, one more set of necklaces. We should screen it in the Discord this year. I think I almost thought about doing it last time, but we just didn't have enough people. If you can open it up to others, I think that it's time to share. It's such a good horror movie. And I would love to have like a yearly J-horror fest. There's just so much good stuff out there. Ooh. There's also some good Korean stuff that's new that I still haven't seen. And I still haven't watched Newtopia, that zombie K rom-com with Jisoo from Blackpink. Looks like it should be pretty good. And then there's another zombie one that just came out. That's a funny one. That genre is just popping off right now. Everybody said stream, and I told you didn't want to see how the sausage gets made because it's very boring, but... Alright, everybody get ready to say goodbye to this silly little guy because we're going to have to clean the background pretty soon. Start waving. Bye-bye. Bye, guy. All right. So, background time. Oh yeah, Kagutaba got him. He's just a kink in a doily now somewhere. You have to watch the movie to understand what the heck that joke means. Okay, yeah. Gonna put all of this into a folder. Wait, do I get to do folders in this program? I don't think I do. Never mind. Background. So here's the actually fun part. Get to actually zoom out and do some painting. So you stuck around for the fun part. So first I'm going to reset my rotation. And then I'm gonna swap my music. There we go. Okay. What kind of brush do we want? Not too much. Not too much pinch. Gonna have some. Oop, I always do that. Gotta move my palette over. guys see how prepared I am? Bill. No, that is incorrect. Okay, there we go. So I want to have this like deeper purple on this side coming in. And there's gonna be clouds. I don't make music yet. I am hoping to, in the future, have a background in dance, and my family and my dad were very big music people, and they constantly pushed me to get into it, but I didn't. But this year we are finally looking at changing that. I'm actually thinking about doing some really out there stuff, like metal music maybe. I don't know. I have some project ideas, but hopefully. You never know what people can end up deciding to do. Okay, let's do cloud shapes here. No, that's not. There we go. This is a little weird. Just trying to do like a moon. That's not bright at all. Put a little bit of a glow. I have no idea what I'm doing. Mongolian throat singing. That's the second joke somebody's made about me doing throat singing this week. Hold on, I keep losing track of this palette. Put it on top. There we go. Much easier. Sorry about that. I might have to work on this background quite a bit after the fact, but just trying to set up some basic shapes. All the glowy bits will be here. Glow yellow bits. Come on now. Itty bitty stars. I've been obsessed with this idea lately. Stars and moons. Nope. Again. Oop. By the way, if anybody has any new mix ideas, especially if you've got art ideas to go with them, I am always all ears. You are free to pop by my Ko-Fi and drop me a note, or go by the Discord and drop me a note. People are always weighing in my community, and sometimes they actually have some real input to share for mixes, and I am very grateful. Okay, let's do a little bit of face definition. Saving as well. Always save. Saving is important. All right, the very most basic definition. Let's grab a color. So we have can't blend as well in open canvas, but what I can do is lay down the basic shapes. You see? And this is something I would do better if I was actually familiar with contouring and makeup in real life. But that's something I'm still learning, because my generation did not have contouring, believe it or not. We were makeup in the most basic way. We were not doing, well, let's just say the concept of allowing shadow and light to do the work for you and trusting it, even though it won't be the same in different situations, was just not something I don't think we were capable of understanding that back then. But now it's like, oh yeah, makeup can be like plastic surgery if you're really good at it. And honestly, a good paint job is the same way. If you are stylish with the execution of your colors, sometimes you can fool people. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't have the best like art education, so a lot of times I'm dazzling with bullshit exactly in that way. But that's okay. What's most important is that you don't learn basic cheaty tricks and then rely on them forever. Not because you're being dishonest, but because you won't progress past that. The very earliest example most artists deal with is hiding one eye because you can't draw them symmetrically yet. It's the first thing we all learn to do when we're learning how to draw is, oh, I got that one eye perfect, but the other one looks stupid, so I'm just going to draw a bunch of hair in front of the eye that's not good. And that does work for a while. And then the next trick that you learn is hiding the hands behind the body, crossing the hands behind the body so that people can't see that you screwed it up. And again, all of these are like rites of passage as an artist, but you don't want to learn to rely on them forever, because regular artists will start to see it. They start to spot that as a, oh, you didn't feel like doing the full work today, did you? And the first time that happens, you're like, oh man, I should have practiced. Believe it or not, in my school, I was in a group of girls that were all pretty good artists, and I would say I was probably in the middle, talent-wise. One girl was, pretty good, but I had a decided advantage over her as far as like drawing men. I'd studied lots of male characters in the way that they had not yet. I think anime girls wear eye patches because it's hot. But if you're talking about anime girls on people's notebooks, if they're an amateur artist, then yeah, that's the reason. But it is why I will throw a picture out sometimes, because I'm just like, nope, that doesn't look good. I'm literally just painting this, trying to get it to level out. I've never really worked in this style before, so I'm sort of winging it. It's not working out the way that I would have hoped, but I think the lip color is contributing a lot. 1 second. Lips are always going to throw you off and make you think, even in real life, they're going to throw you off and make you think I'm not doing this correctly. It's not necessarily true. Clipping beneath layer. Let's get some rosiness here. There. It's going to make this not look quite so haggard while I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I thought I improved my music. What's going on? Swap. True, yes. There you go. You figured it out. Anime girls are secretly pirates. They're all secretly pirates. There we go. Sorry if I get quiet. This is a mind-bending work sometimes. It's okay not to blend. I have to keep reminding myself it's totally okay not to blend. It's okay. You can do it later. It's gonna look fine. A little better? Oh, she's looking a little spooky. She's looking a little gaunt. Nice. This is one of those things that will make an artist quit really fast if they're not paying attention to the process, because they'll be like, "Ah, I screwed it up." No, you didn't screw it up. It's always going to look weird when you're halfway through. Hi, Rafa. Good to see you. I'm sorry. I would have probably like heads up to you, but I forgot. How are you? How is everyone? It is Friday. How's your Friday? My Friday's going okay, I guess. I mean, could be worse. I'm not complaining. The VOD's gonna be up anyway. We've been pretty quiet today. Remember, the whole point is to show up. Show up and do the work. I'm just staring at this like, why does she look so scary right now? What am I doing that's making her look so scary? Maybe once I get the eyes done. Alright, let's go crazy on these eyes then. Not crazy, but crazy enough. Magenta. And a little bit of an orange. I already did this once in practice, so I'm a little annoyed that I didn't save it, but... Oh, we already did that, yeah. Yeah, it's the phone shadow and just things not being blended well enough, and it's just rough. I think once the rest of the colors are done too, it'll help. But yeah, she's got a little bit of a chunk coming out of her face right now because of the... It's taking up too much space too. There we go. And this is too dark. Here, we'll just hide it for now. We'll fix it later. But if it doesn't look great, it's okay if it's gone. Nobody's gonna notice right away. It's a little bit better. Thank you. Okay. Eyeballs. You might not know this, but I'm actually not super confident about eyes a lot of the time. I am getting better about it, but I don't have an eye process where it's just like you do this and then you do this and then you do this and bam bam it's done. I think I'm still exploring and experimenting. Good for now. Good and basic for now. Basic shadows on the skin. Yeah, I loved him. He will have to be a recurring character. We will bring back the silly little guy because I think it's brand appropriate around here. He's just hanging out with the other Kodamas. And the Hushbats. If you're not in the Discord, you don't know what Hushbats are yet, but you will learn it from the comic book once I, or comic book, the web comic, once I get it established. I don't know when we're gonna mention the Hushbats. It's been a long time even getting started on that. Time to get into some details. Have you guys watched any good TV this week? I have been really kicking back on my old reliables, so I haven't watched anything new. I'm a little bit out of the loop, honestly. I need to watch that show with Daniel Radcliffe, the one that had the season that was like Mad Max. Oh, and also he's in some show with Tracy Morgan now called, what is it, something Reggie Dinkins. Looked pretty funny. What movie would that be, or TV show? I'm just asking movie because I assume if it's not the TV shows that I just mentioned, that I don't know if there's anything else I would have even not known about. I do like him though as an actor. He seems like a very sweet dude. Like, I feel like if you met him in person, he would be exceedingly kind and very, very humble and awesome. Right, we're gonna go kind of intense on the blending over here. Okay. Oh, horns! That was written by Stephen King's son, and it's excellent. And Joe Hill, the son in question, all the graphic novels he's written, so good. Check out all of them. Highly recommend Joe Hill. Horns was great. It's a little bit clunky, but Max Mangella is such a good bad guy. I love him anytime he plays a bad guy. Also, if nobody here has finished or has seen The Long Walk yet, is it called The Long Walk? Wait, am I thinking of? Yeah, The Long Walk. So freaking good. So good. And Clint Eastwood's son is in it, and is it Clint Eastwood's son? He's so good. Like, he's one of the most compelling characters in the whole thing. Highly recommend. And the main guy, the main kid, where did they find him? He's so good. And Judy Greer is in it. Oh my gosh. Where do I even start? I love all of those people. Judy Greer broke my heart in that movie. Has anybody here seen The Long Dark yet? I know Friend definitely has. Not Long Dark, Long Walk. I keep confusing it with the video game. Long Walk, Long Walk. Anyway, we've had a resurgence in quote-unquote death games media. Squid Games, Running Man remake, Long Walk. It's my favorite genre. Has been ever since I was a kid. I think because inherently I just understood that my future was going to be something like that. Alright, we've done a little bit of coloring on the skin, so now I want to add a little bit of coloring on the hair. Here, we'll bring the little guy in to say hello. Hi. Everybody say hi. Kagotaba. Kagotaba. He's trying to warn us. Long Walk is so good. Everybody in it is so good. Even the people that you're supposed to hate are so good. Honestly, like 9.5 out of 10. And if you ask me to mention like what I didn't like about it, I literally couldn't tell you. I'm just trying to be fair. Hold on. There we go. Yeah, you didn't get to see the little guy when he was present, but He helped us out. I'm happy to see that my mic issues seem to have been relatively worked out and we haven't had any major technical things. Something new will crop up the next time I decide to add something, but hey, a stream with few technical major difficulties is good. It means we can perfect things. It's gonna be shadows. She's just gonna have like variations of color in her hair. There we go. Well, we know new stuff's gonna come up. When I try to add something different, it's gonna be a whole new ballgame. But great thing is I have plenty of people who are willing to help me figure it out and make sure everything goes good. So just as long as I don't get too ambitious and add way too much stuff at once, I think I'm gonna be okay. So far, so very good. Are you guys gonna come to my gaming stream on Monday? It's gonna probably be a lot less smooth than this, but I expected that. I don't even know what I'm gonna play yet. I've been trying out a whole bunch of different things, and there's so many good options. Only thing is, like, my computer's not bad, but I feel like I could definitely improve my frame rate when I'm streaming. Might actually need more of a monster PC than I can afford right now, but we just won't push it with really intense games until we figure that part out. Yeah, I'm gonna make sure and let everybody know before that one starts. Nobody's gonna miss it. And I really am trying to get the self rolls done in Discord so that I don't have to make you guys depend on me leaving a message at just the right time. But I don't know, the bot's really pushing with me. It's really fighting me lately, and I do not know why. Braids are so hard, you guys, by the way. I don't know if you know this. Well, one thing I'm actually thinking about playing that I think will go over well is I dug up the old Dreamcast Record of Lodoss War game. There's so many Record of Lodoss War games, but the one for Dreamcast is so good. I've been thinking about it for years, and I dug up an emulator and I started playing it the other day. And I know you guys don't know me that well, so you don't know how bad my attention span is, but when I tell you, I played that game for an hour and a half straight, no interruptions. It's just so good. It's just such a good game. It's a lot like Diablo. It's like Diablo if it came out for the Dreamcast in 2001? 2000? It's insane. It's so good. And like, yeah, Diablo came out before that, but for console and based on a really cool manga and with full voice acting, so good. It's just insane. But I also started a Literally Me play on Project Zomboid because I'm curious to see if I could actually survive as Literally Me. And I did start the game just to test it out to make sure that my mods were working. And the funny part is that it is fairly survivable as me, but I'm stuck inside the house because I'm always too weak to do any kind of damage because I'm always tired. Because my character is a light sleeper like I am. And you'd think it would be the out of shape thing, but no, it's the light sleeper that's really going to get you with Zomboid, so we're going to have to see. But I've also been playing this game called Tales of Magiel because I saw a guy post a video on YouTube saying like, this game looks like garbage and you're gonna play 5 million hours of it regardless. I was like, okay. Lodoss War, it probably is long considering that it's a very grindy RPG. Like an action RPG. Action RPG? It's an RPG, whatever. I don't think I would be playing the entirety of it on the stream, but that's another thing is like I have to consider, you know, if people get invested on a playthrough, are they going to want to come back? Which is why I kind of think Zomboid is a good option because once you die, you're off the hook. I kid, I'm not going to take advantage of that, but it is how it goes. Heavy sleeper is... Honestly, I think if you set up your base well enough, you'd be in good shape, but light sleeper means I'm waking up at 2 a.m. with nothing to do except exercise to get rid of the out of shape, except I'm in agony from exercising right before I went to bed, and I can't eat anything to kill my own personal boredom as a player because they can't eat or they won't lose weight fast enough. And I don't have the ability to read books because I haven't had the chance to go out and get any good books. So she just ends up doing yoga and sitting on the ground a lot. And that's not so bad, except the few hours I get every other day where I could be doing something useful, it is always snowing or always foggy. And I'm like, great. That's the tough part, is that the weather actively intervenes to make sure that you have a hard time. But since we've got like 15 minutes, can you put fences around the house? Yeah, absolutely, you can. It's just a matter of like, I'm in a tiny neighborhood and I can't even fight. Every time I go out to like go to the next house over, there's 3 zombies there, and you can't fight 3 zombies even if you are super, super weak. So I've been just stranded. I'm having to really abuse going outside, attracting zombies to me, tracking them around a whole house, and like leading them away from houses because I literally can't fight them. And I am using mods on that game, but not in any kind of way that would make the game like much easier for me. The main things are like it's mostly cosmetics. I don't even have the common sense mod, which is driving me crazy. There's a mod that whenever you're done using something, if you had pulled it out of a container, it'll put it back. And I'm used to having that mod and I don't have it, and I keep walking away with like giant pots of soup on me and then wondering why I'm overweighted when I'm outside running from zombies. It's because that mod is like really, really good. I am worried about how loud I'm gonna scream if I play Zomboid though, because it catches me off guard. I do have the Bazinga mod installed though, so if I get startled, you're gonna hear me laugh more than scream. But I startle myself a lot of the time. Alright, let's get some orange on her hair. This is gonna remind us of Vitamin C, the singer. Gonna add some orange. This is gonna start being a common look for her, so I hope you guys don't mind, but she's gonna have some orange ombre in her hair because I'm starting to do like a peachy ombre on her. There's a lot of characters with just straight pink hair, you guys. And it's neat and everything, but that's not too bad. Hard light? There we go. Much better. Yeah. Oh, Outlast Trials? Yeah. Even when Friend and I played Content Warning, at least those screams were productive and funny. Speaking of which, can you still play Content Warning? Because I would. I would totally play it again. Spooky face. Let me go ahead and smooth these lines out a little bit. Literally not doing anything again. Why does this keep happening? No. I'm gonna have to sort out my pencil brush later because it is just doing some weird stuff I cannot explain. What the heck? Whatever. Use water brush. A little softer. There we go. By the way. Oh, thank you. Okay, good deal. I'll make sure I re-download it if I haven't already. I was gonna say if anybody's got any suggestions for movies that we're gonna do, or even like anime, TV shows, whatever. I might actually add some extra times and days. Because I've been wanting to hang out more, and it doesn't have to be like official stream times like this. It can be more sporadic. Not sporadic. Spontaneous. That's the word I was looking for. That's right. Oh, that would be fun. Noted and processed and put away. There's also that Kaiju Crackers game where you do like tycoon management for a business that deals with the aftermath of kaiju fights. Look kind of fun. Okay, lips are kind of dark. Nope, no, that's muddy. I always undo my own work like that. Why? Yeah, more spontaneous hangout streams. Hi, hello, good to see you. If people wouldn't mind me just straight up dropping streams like this out of nowhere during the week on other days than Friday and Monday, then I might just start doing that. Because there have been times now that I'm getting used to it where I'm like, I could just stream right now. I don't care if only a couple of people make it. I mean, I want people to be able to make it, but I'm not going to be mad if you can't. You know? I think we made some pretty good headway on this for 2 hours. Face is a little bland right now, but we'll get it worked out. I'm probably not going to close the stream at 4, but I might just take a brief break. So if anybody still feels like hanging. This picture is going to need a lot more work and a lot more color popping. Her forehead is very flat. Actually, I will be back in 2 shakes. 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. So I'm noticing as I like zoom out on this, it's very washed out in the facial area. So I'll definitely make sure to work on that. Has anybody had any music on my channel that you feel like you've been waiting for me to get back to? Because I am paying attention to which older videos get commented on and people ask about them. I've heard some requests for Heist Mix 3, the Outlaw Mix. Like I said, it's I like it. I love it, actually. But I'm the weirdo that puts a lot of strange music together, so I'm still debating whether I want to do a side A, side B situation, and I think I probably will. But I might also do a Spotify mix for brave souls that don't mind everything being mixed together. So we'll see. I like to make those mixes like it's a soundtrack to a movie, which means that a lot of times you'll see artists next to each other that you wouldn't typically see, like playing at a festival, for example. But that's what makes it so fun to go from track to track. Where's the palette? Whoop, spun around. Just do a little bit of messy shading on this phone. I wish I had a blender so bad, and then I remember how crappy that's going to make my work if I had access to it, so I don't want it. No requests for now. Okay, noted. But keep it in mind. Get a color that's a little more orange. Oh, too much. Hold on. There we go. Do, 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 do. Plastic can be really fun and cathartic to draw, by the way. Highly recommend taking up drawing inanimate objects. If you ever just get really bored and tired, you'd be surprised what you can pick up. Sorry to get quiet and just draw, but that's what you're looking for sometimes. You just want to get the work done, you know? Did it again. It looks a little bit better. Doesn't look as yellow as I wanted. I won't worry about that for now, though. All right, it's 4 o'clock, but I'm going to go ahead and leave the stream open and keep working for a little bit longer. So anybody who wants to stay, big hearts to you. But either way, I'm just happy that people decided to come by. Oop, I did it again. There we go. Put a little bit of color on this one. That is way too bright, but we're just trying to lighten it a tiny bit. Add a little bit over here. Just a little hint of lightness. I am happy that we seem to have solved the annoying mic problem. I had to replace 2 cables, but it was long overdue anyhow. Here comes the fun part. Don't miss it. Time for some shinies. Forse la verità è un treno d'argento. Se sali rimarrò, se resti imparerò la tua canzone. Se te ne vai canterò con te. Non dire per sempre, non dire addio. Conta solo i battiti e incontra il mio sguardo. Quando il mondo diventa rumoroso e la notte si fa sottile, lascia che il momento ci trascini dentro. Tienimi in fuga, amore mio, cuori che battono come tamburi in fuga. Se domani dimentica ciò che abbiamo giurato, sarà ancora tuo per 1.000 ancora. Forse ce la faremo, forse no, forse l'oceano conserva ciò che non ci appartiene. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Have you guys seen Wake Up Dead Man yet, or any of the Benoit Blanc movies? Because oh my gosh, if you haven't seen the first one, you need to get yourself into those movies. They're so good. There's books too, I understand. I need to go ahead and read those books if they're half as funny as the movies are. Daniel Craig is such a good comedic actor. I really enjoy his James Bond, obviously, but he's such a funny person. I really love him when he's funny. When they give him a chance to be funny. Josh Brolin is really on a roll too with his career again. After Weapons. Also such a good movie, which we are gonna have to watch in my Discord. Halloween, we'll do a chunk of like scary stuff because we've really got to. Too many of us, especially the mods, are too into scary stuff to not have at least 1 week of scary movies. Scary movie night. Yep. I want to do it all the time, but I'll at least wait until Halloween or September at the earliest. I don't think anybody's going to get mad at me if I want to start in September. Or even earlier, honestly, but I think we have enough girly pop 2000s movies to last us the next couple of months. And then by then, we are eventually going to run out, so gonna need something else to do. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Spook when you wanna. Yeah. On that question, though, about whether I'm gonna make music or not, you guys don't know this about me. I don't have a lot of musical background. I still don't play any instruments competently, but I do have perfect pitch. And the only reason why I'm not a singer yet is because I just don't have any practice and I don't know how to have control. But I've done a little bit of practicing on the side, and I can see me doing some music in the next couple of years. I would love to sing live. But again, the hard part is just like practicing in front of people, because I've literally never done it. Never, not once. Never practiced singing in front of anyone. But when I've tried practicing belting for the first time, it's crazy to hear it coming out of your mouth and hear it actually sounding like relatively okay, and not like something from that part of American Idol where they would deliberately embarrass people. I'm sure they did it on America's Got Talent and other shows as well, but point being, when you've never practiced a thing and somebody's like, just start scream singing, it'll be fine. You're like, I don't trust that it'll be fine. And if it's not fine and I honk in front of everybody, then I'm never going to be able to show my face in the light of day again. But then sometimes you do it, and it's okay. Get this. Is this the right color? I don't think it's the right color. Make that orange. Need some bright yellow. Thank you. Yeah, the ombre color, where it goes from pink to orange, is probably going to be the permanent look. It's just not really going to show up unless she has really long hair. Because there's a lot of pink-haired girls out there. And I think a lot of people's first impulse when they're trying to make their character stand out is to give them heterochromia. But her special eyes is that they are sort of pink, sort of orange, sort of both, and you don't really know which one. So I don't need to do anything crazy like that. But ombre hair would help. I did consider going half one side and half the other, and I'll probably do that for at least one picture, but I think this is the style that I'm appreciating the most right now. Where's the phone cord? Love a good phone cord. Oops, I screwed this up. Hold on. This is supposed to be part of it. Hold on. Right, there we go. Not dark enough. Here we go. Almost done with the boring parts, I promise. That's a lie. I shouldn't promise. I shouldn't promise that. There's just a lot of boring parts, unfortunately. Welcome to my job, everybody. There we go. Little airbrush cheating never hurt anybody. All right, I guess I'm running out of steam, so I'm going to slow down a little bit and just have a little chat for the next 20 or so. I think we're 2 hours for me is pretty substantial. Like, this piece is already about halfway done. That's not too bad. Check out music and try something a little. Whatever. I'll just turn it down. How is everybody? Time for Q&As if you want them, since I'm gonna go ahead and pause on the work. Yeah, I'm glad for that. Definitely one of my faster pieces. The ink work took quite a lot longer than I anticipated, but the setup was the major thing. It's gonna look a lot better when it's done, but I might not be able to save it for another stream. We'll see. I'm moving kind of slow right now, so either way, at least you'll be able to see the finals whenever the actual video goes out. It's a new style for me. I haven't drawn eyes like this before, but I just really felt like doing some big doll eyes. Let me check actual chat and make sure nobody's been hidden like last time. A couple of my people in the last chat were just straight up not showing up. Okay, it looks like everybody's accounted for. That's good. You guys don't forget to help me out and hit like on the stream before you go. It really makes a difference. Things are pretty quiet though, so I might actually just wrap up, but I'm gonna hang out. I know we've got a quiet little group here today, but one view is enough. You know that is what I say. So how is everyone? You guys hanging in there? Let's see, it's the end of April. Not a whole lot coming up in May, but June, summertime, something about June, July always breezes right past for me. I just get my time blindness multiplies by 3 times something about June, July. I don't know what it is. I have a new no, that's totally fine. It's okay even if we just had a slow stream today. We're doing the VOD, you know? We're doing the video for the VOD. People are going to come by and watch. Have me on. That's the main thing about getting the audio right is eventually one of these recordings is, you know, just have me in your ear. You don't have to even be here live. But it is tough because last time I was doing art that was a little tougher, so I was talking more. I notice on this picture, whenever I really get into it, I just go quiet. I feel like that is difficult for people. Maybe not so difficult. I guess when I have more people, it'll be fine. Don't think I'm like second guessing anything or worrying too much, because I'm not. I'm very happy with how things are going. Background's gonna take a little while to paint, but that's because it's open canvas. And open canvas doesn't allow me to do anything the easy way, but that's good. Whenever shortcuts present themselves, walk away, yay, yay. Like that vine, that little girl. Never ever take shortcuts if you can help it, unless it's to practice or see what the shortcut is like. And I'm not talking about cheating. I'm just talking about anything where you think it's gonna help you, but it's a trap and it's just gonna actually give you 3 times more work. I'm mostly talking to my ADHD girlies and boys because we need shortcuts more than other people do. I wish I could have brought you guys to the Death Clock concert. I'm using a dumb phone, so I didn't even take any video. Someone else had to take some photos for me, which I still have not uploaded to the Discord. I'm sorry about that. It's been a slow week. Let's see. What other holidays do we even have coming up? I'm not posting a mix for 4th of July unless it's going to be ironic. But that's kind of what the Irish mix was. I kind of already did that. I already did what I would have done. So unless something really fun happens between now and my birthday in June, politically, I don't think I would have any reason to post a special video that day. So the next thing that would be coming up would be... Is it really nothing until autumn? Because I'm not posting something for Labor Day or Memorial Day or anything like that. Holidays are just a lazy excuse for me to have something to post, but I really should just start posting for the sake of it. I'm spending too much time on YouTube. Is everybody okay? Before I go, does anybody have any... Do you need a vent or share feelings or ask questions or talk about anything? Because that is partially what I'm out here for anyway, you know? If I could, I would just put up one of those little Like Lucy from Peanuts, the psychiatrist is in signs. Just put it up. Come to my stream. Vent about your problems. I've heard it all. When I was in high school, back when the internet was really new, I would thank you. I would get into the computer lab and I would just spill all of my problems to this cool internet lady that I looked up to, who was a writer who wrote for video games, and I thought she was really awesome. She lived in Seattle. She was a goth. She had a hearse that she had bought and converted into a normal car. She had a whole blog about it. I thought she was so awesome. So I would get out of class, go to the computer lab, and then write all my problems down and tell her how I felt, and she would write back telling me how it was going to be okay and how kids are mean sometimes and teachers just don't understand and parents just don't understand, but smart kids always make it. And that lady was the lady who wrote Phantasmagoria 2 and King's Quest 7. Her name's Laura Lee Shannon, and she's a really cool lady, and I look up to her a lot. She took the time out to write back to a lonely dork in Texas who just needed somebody to understand her. And then I grew up, and I just really want to do that for other people. It meant so much to me, and I just really want to be able to do that for other people. So anyway, let's see, what else have we got to share before I close down later? We're going to have the movie thing. I've definitely already got several movies picked out. If we're going to do girly pop 2000s, I'm probably going to start with Legally Blonde. So anybody here who doesn't want to miss that, please pay attention, because I'm not trying to jump right out of the gate with the best option, but it's going to be fun. I want to watch Legally Blonde. I want to watch Mean Girls. I want to watch Jawbreaker. I want to watch a couple of other thrillers from that time that were like funny. Heathers. Just, there's so much good stuff. And then there's so much old anime. Have you guys seen Robot Carnival? I watch it like once a year as well. It's so inspiring. Let me see. Hold on. Show you guys a clip from it. I'll turn the sound off so it doesn't screw with things. Where's YouTube? Here we go. Yeah, let's let that play. I remember coming home from one of my dad's gigs, and I turned on the Sci-Fi channel, and Robot Carnival was playing, and it was like 1 a.m. And I saw this bit, this short film, Cloud, and I was just completely blown away. It was the most gorgeous, thoughtful, thought-provoking art I had ever seen in my young life at that time. I was completely new to anime, obviously. It was new to most people in the West at the time. But this artist is just so expressive, and it's just of the times. I think it's part of why I'm obsessed with Harlequin clowns as well, because of the face paint that Cloud has. It's gorgeous, and we're definitely going to have to watch the whole movie. The doll maker sketch. The doll maker short is probably one of my favorite anime pieces of all time. This one is also really great. There's not a lot of talking in Robot Carnival, right? Is there any? I think there's some talking, but it's a mostly quiet movie, which is why they were able to dub it so easily and bring it over. But as far as like old anime goes, anthologies are always going to be a good bet. Yeah, very little of the dialogue in Robot Carnival is actually spoken on screen, but there's a couple of voiceover lines. Yeah, the school kids piloting the mech against the mad scientist. I really like that bit too. And did you figure out if there was another show that was like the one like this one? Because or maybe I was talking to Corey about it. I was talking to Corey about it. That's right. Um, there's a couple of other anthologies, like anime anthologies from this time period that are also really good. And if I can figure out which ones they are, I would love to show them in Discord because these are the things that like inspired me to become an artist in the first place. This short specifically was so inspiring to me. I could not stop drawing after I saw it. I would pause the TV and sketch it. And it's so evocative because all it is a little robot kid walking against a storm and the clouds are turning into different things. But it makes you feel that sense of loneliness, but also a feeling of being watched over and cared for. It's just such a beautiful piece and I love it. And obviously the music is a big part of it, but I don't want to completely replace the work by posting it here. Just check it out if you get a chance. All of Robot Carnival, unless you want to wait for me to show it in my Discord, in which case join the Discord and hang on till I show it. This one, the doll maker, the one where the girl breaks up with her crappy boyfriend and then goes to the theme park and falls in love with the robot, is also another really good one. They're all great. But I want to watch Plastic Little again, and Bubblegum Crisis, and Dominion Tank Police, and all the old good stuff. I don't think. I think younger people who haven't even come to anime until we already were doing it all in 3D, just straight up, and I'm going to sound so old here, but I'm saying this in the most excited way possible. The art, you have not even seen what can happen when you're not being restricted by a model. And I know that a lot of newer artists have figured out that that's a limitation, and so they're working around it, and that's amazing and great, and you can totally do that. But back in the day when the only thing you had was one single frame at a time, I think the style really came out. I am so obsessed with some of those artists from that time period, so we're definitely going to have to talk about it. Friend and I were talking about video games from like the Sega CD era, and there was one artist, or a couple of artists that were really popular. Masamune Shirow was really popular. Let me look up the artist. I'm literally sitting here trying to talk about. Wait, I can't do it because I'm gonna block out my YouTube. Pop full male artist. What was their name? I saw them in Wizard magazine. Hiroyuki Imai. Who's the main artist? Hiroyuki Imai. I recognize that name for sure. Kunihiko Tanaka. Wait, their name's actually got a Wikipedia entry though. Whatever, I'll look it up later. But yeah, Ruin Explorers, Legacy of Ys, Dragon Slayer, Xenogears. It's a lot. Yay, the bunnies. This was so inspiring to me. I can't believe this was all drawn by hand in the 80s. Are you kidding me? So freaking cool. Can you imagine drawing pictures, just cells in a studio with natural light? Oh, I would die. I would just die. But I didn't end up wanting to become an animator as a kid because I realized I didn't want to draw the same picture over and over. And at the time, I thought I was just being picky. But I do have ADHD, and we don't like repetition at all. That's why I don't do good with platformer games, because if I fall off of something and I have to go back to the beginning and start over, it's like pulling nails. I can't stand it. I hate it. And it makes me sad because I feel left out. And I wanted to be an animator when I was a kid, but I just couldn't stomach the idea of drawing the same picture over and over again to make it tweak a little bit, even though I really want to. It's so boring to me. But that's why I really respect animators. Fun fact, when I was in elementary school, what? Oh, hold on. I saw a notice. Let me see what I got. It says violated notice. Am I still streaming? Am I having issues? I saw it. I don't. Look, we're mostly wrapped up anyway, so if it's my music or something, no big deal. Ah, okay. Funny. All right, well, I stopped it. Did they close my stream? Cool. It didn't stop my stream, though. That's crazy. Cool. Whatever. We were done. I mean, I'm still suspended for policy violations. All right, cool.